FM Ido-Ekiti.
A beautiful evening to you and welcome to News Express, our flash bulletin covering national, state, politics, business, global, entertainment and sport news. In the news, President Tinubu implement reduction in the price of kidney dialysis in federal hospitals. Federal government reacts to new United States visa requirement, promises reciprocation. And CAA bans airplane mode, others phones off during takeoff and landing. Many thanks for joining us on News Express this evening. I am Oladoyin Ayegbusi. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has approved a major reduction in the cost of kidney dialysis in federal hospitals by reducing the price from 50,000 naira to 12,000 naira per session, a total of 76% cut. The special advisor to the president on policy communications, Daniel Buala, disclosed the development in a statement yesterday that President Bola Tinubu has approved a landmark reduction to ease the cost of kidney dialysis for Nigerians. With this intervention, it marks or makes the treatment more affordable. He explained that the new pricing has already taken effect in 10 major hospitals, federal medical centers and teaching hospitals across the country, with plans to expand the development nationwide before the end of the year. The federal government has vowed to reciprocate a new U.S. visa policy that mandates Nigerian visa applicants to disclose their social media profiles and activities in the last 5 years during application. According to report, the U.S. mission said Nigerian visa applicants are required to provide a comprehensive list of their social media profiles on the DS-160 visa application form. It warned that omitting the information could lead to visa denials and potential ineligibility for future U.S. visas. Reacting to the development, spokesman for the Ministry of Information for Foreign Affairs, Kimebi Ebiafa, said the ministry is aware of the development and however said that the federal government will carry out reciprocal action, stressing that U.S. citizens intending to visit Nigeria will be subjected to similar measures. The Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has commenced a new road of water project commissioning and flag off in the Federal Capital Territory. In a statement released today, Wike declared that they will flag off the construction and expansion of water supply to satellite towns starting from Buari Township in Buari Area Council, and will do the same for Karu Town and its environs in Abuja Urban Area Council. Recall that during the June 16 commissioning of the Greater Abuja Water Supply Project, Wike had announced that the FCT administration signed a new agreement following President Tinubu's 2023 visit to China to expand water supply to satellite communities such as Buari, Kubwa and Karu. Public reactions have continued to trail the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission's RMAFC's proposal to raise the salaries of the President, Vice President, Ministers and Senators. This is as they raised concerns that those pushing the agenda are acting against the progress of this nation. Adamimogo FM's Folawumi Olanio has the details.
According to the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, Nigeria's political office holders have been based on a certain salary structure. According to the commission, a president presently earns 1.5 million naira monthly, with vice president and senators receiving roughly 1 million, while ministers receive less than 1 million naira, figures that have remained unchanged since 2008. All of these, with other allowances and incentives which they benefit due to the office they occupy, was provided by the Nigerian Nigerian Constitution. Recently, the Commission, RMAFC, has hinted at the possibility of increasing the salaries of President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, ministers and senators. The Commission, through its chairman, Mohammed Shehu, believes the current salary structure for political office holders was untenable and unrealistic, noting that it has remained unchanged since 2008, despite increased responsibilities and economic realities.
For those of you who are not aware, it's part of the constitutional responsibilities of the Commission to come up with an acceptable remuneration for political, legislators, and judicial office holders in Nigeria. You cannot pay a minister less than ₦1 million per month since 2008 and did not increase his salary and expect that he will put in his best without necessarily being involved in some other things. So I want your support, and your people like you and others should support the Commission to come up with reasonable living salaries for ministers, DGs, the president. You pay the president 1.5 million a month.
However, the proposal has sparked outrage among stakeholders who describe the move as a misplaced priority at a time when Nigerians are battling inflation, unemployment, hunger, and poverty, amidst others. A public affairs analyst, Gabriel Abiodun, said the planned increment was unjustifiable given the numerous hidden benefits and allowances already enjoyed by public officials.
I am not happy with this announcement. Like, seriously, I'm not happy because the situation whereby the minimum wage of average Nigerian citizen is still at almost 70,000 naira. And how much is the president earning? About 1.5 million naira, plus so many total take home that Mr. President is going to get at the end of the day after he's exposed to what I call freelance in all aspects. It is Nigerian that is buying his own food. It is Nigerian that is buying fuel inside his vehicle. It is Nigerian that is buying fuel inside the private jet that the president is flying. The house that the president is living is free of charge, and he's still earning 1.5 million naira. That is what they told us, but I believe Mr. President is receiving more than that.
He argued that the initiators of the proposal were acting against the interests of the people.
Whoever that is making such move is an enemy of Nigeria. I'm not talking about presidency now.
Other respondents also faulted the idea, calling on the government to redirect its attention towards people programs, job creation, and cushioning the effects of economic hardship rather than fattening the paychecks of politicians.
What I just think is selfishness. The focus of political office holders in aggrandizing wages in their favor. And these people, they will always maintain quietness on fringe benefits, allocations, all these, they are crazy hormones for increments. They are all quite nauseating. Nigerians can no longer afford a return of Buhari governments and its predecessors. Instead, the attention of this dispensation should be more shifted towards ordinary Nigerians.
All those ministers collect big money, then allowance, different type of allowance. Then secondly, they have opportunity to award different type of contracts. All those things is money. All those politicians, they want to kill Nigeria.
While many have criticized the idea, some think the proposed increment is fair enough.
Calling for a review of the salary structure. Basically, when we look at it generally, I think it is fair enough to call review. Number one thing is that the salary structure, according to what he claimed, has been upheld as far back as 2008, has been over a decade. So I think even with that alone, it's fair to say let's review the salary structure of the president and that's of the vice president. Basically, this thing boils down to the fact that over the years, the naira has devalued deeply. The president is being paid 1.5 billion naira more. Maybe 1.5 billion naira as far back as 2008 will have been sustainable to the economy of that time. But now it's no longer sustainable.
Likewise, the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, kicked against the plans, adding that the proposal ignores the country's worsening inequality and the hidden perks that already inflate earnings in government. It also stressed that it would be unjust for politicians to enjoy salary increments when the average Nigerian is battling with inflation and poverty. With poverty, hunger, and inflation still pressing hard on the people, Nigerians wait to see if the Commission proceeds on the move or withdraw due to growing outcry. Folaumi Olaniyan reporting for Adamimogo FM.
Thank you so much, Folaumi, for that report. Former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has described vote buying in Nigeria as a calculated investment in the corruption that undermines the nation's democratic status. Obi, in a post on his X handle today, argued that politicians who purchase votes are looking for means and a venue to steal public funds and divert resources meant for schools, hospitals, and jobs for their personal gains. He added that vote buying is one of the greatest dangers confronting democracy in Nigeria, describing it as a calculated investment in corruption, which is never an act of kindness because those who buy votes do so with only bad intentions. A chieftain of the new Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, Buba Galadima, suggested that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, cannot conduct free and fair elections under the administration of President Bola Tinubu. Galadima accused the current administration of abandoning governance for politicking just 2 years after it came into power, and that these has taken power and got away from INEC to call politicians to order because the people in power started politics before others. He said when INEC was at their peak and politicians start to pressure the commission, they will come back or come out and warn the politicians that they have not allowed or would not allow politicking. Former presidential seat aspirant Matthews Tsedo has alleged that the just concluded by-elections were a semblance of the local government polls where the winning parties in the state are winning and the elections because their political party is in control of the state, therefore likening it to a local government elections where governors can dictate the candidate.
The states that are being controlled by PDP, the candidate won. The states that are being controlled by APC, their candidate won. The states that are being controlled by ABGA, their candidate won. The states that are being controlled by NNPP, their candidate won. What does it tell you? Did we have an election? I think what we had in the by-elections was more like a local government election, just a semblance of local government elections that we've had, that you have a situation where the state governor's party and his candidate will win all the seats. And
Matthews went on to affirm that the electoral processes in Nigeria is flawed with so many things needed to be addressed, especially the issue of vote buying, which he said it is an irritating attitude among politicians.
We know that the process is flawed, but there are so many things that we have to address. We have not spoken about the issue of vote buying. It irritates me to my spirit that you want to serve the people, and because you want to serve the people, you go and meet them and give them money to vote for you. Does it make any sense to you? It tells you the desire, the intention of those that want to be your leaders.
He shared his hopes on the electoral reforms that are currently in the House of Assembly, claiming that he hopes the president will sign them into law. Still with Matthias, a former presidential aspirant of the Action Democratic Party, ADP, today has said that he's praying for a day when the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, will declare his intention to contest for the 2027 presidential election.
Yes, he has not declared that he wants to run for election, but for somebody like me, I am praying for a day that will come that President Goodluck Jonathan will declare and say, I want to run.
The former Bayelsa governor became the president in May 2010 after the death of Umar Yar'Adua. He was then elected in 2011, serving a full term of 4 years before losing to Buhari. However, Sado pleaded that those who have the former president's contact or have access to him should speak to him, advise him to come around, that Nigeria needs him now.
I think Nigerians, those that have his contact, those that have access to him, should speak to him that, look, at this point, the other rumors around in 2023 that you are going to run and all that, there were rumors, but this time around, please come around.
He explained that Jonathan has demonstrated statesmanship by conceding defeat to Buhari, a sign that he was not desperate for power. According to him, Jonathan has attained a position many politicians in the country are aspiring for. You're also listening to News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Ido Ekiti. Coming up next, NCAA bans airplane mode. Others, phones off during takeoff, landing. Do join us again.
Hello, good people of Ekiti State and its environment. For your private, political, family, or club meetings, and so on, of not more than 50 to 100 participants, we introduce to you Adamimogo Event Hall. Yes! Right at Oladoyin Palace, Adamimogo 107.7 FM's compound, Ido Ekiti. Ample parking space, good security, clean environment. You also have the opportunity to book for a media publicity of your event on our fast-growing social media platforms. All these for a talking. Simply visit us at Oladoyin Palace, Ido Ekiti, or call the following numbers for more inquiries: 0803 526 5812 or 0916 340 0878 or 0806 511 4430. You can also call 0806 380 8891 at Adamimogo Event Hall. We are waiting for your patronage.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us again. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook via Adamimogo 107.7 FM Ido Ekiti for happenings around your news and queries. Please contact our newsroom on 0915 786 8095. Now to the rest of the news. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has said that all mobile phones must be completely switched off during flight takeoff and landing. The Director General of the authority, Captain Chris Najomo, stated this during a stakeholders meeting themed National Civil Aviation Security Committee meeting in Abuja today. He declared that all passengers must now completely switch off electronic devices during flight and in the long-standing flight mode practice. He said the regulation concerns phones and other electronic devices in Nigeria has now been unified, stressing that the widely accepted flight mode option would no longer be permitted. In the meantime, a public affairs analyst, Mr. Gabriel Abiodun, today said cabinet reshuffle might have a neglect or a negative impact on Governor Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji of Ekiti State. Speaking today on Adamimogo FM's follow-up, Abiodun said cabinet reshuffle has always happened and no longer news, pointing out that it is beneficial to the government when the existing members are underperforming, giving room for new perspective to yield better outcome and improve efficiency. However, he disagreed with the governor on claims that this is not the right time for such actions. He said the governor needs a strong and united team to enhance his chances in the forthcoming elections.
The only aspect where I fought the decision of the governor in the first place is that the time now, because this is high time that the man is supposed to be building a formidable team that will give him a second chance in office come 2026. But doing what he's able to do right now actually shows me that the man doesn't understand what it takes to actually be a formidable team, because
He further stated that accountability and transparency are important, but sudden rush to purchase forms for the governor raises questions as to the motives behind the surge of interest.
Why would somebody tell me that they purchase form for him? Let him tell us that he bought the form. Nobody is going to question him. Nobody is going to question him. But those people that are buying form for him, what are the interests? What are the interior motives behind purchasing a form for a sitting governor?
Public Affairs Analyst Gabriel Abiodun speaking there. The Ori of Otun Ekiti and paramount ruler of Mobaland, Oba Adekunle Adeagbo, has debunked reports that the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enito Ogunwusi, appointed anyone as the Okonlomo of Yorubaland. Oba Adeagbo said that while the Oni has the power to confer the title, the monarch has not made such an appointment, as he emphasized that leadership is neither about what he called forceful enthronement nor empty threat. The clarification follows the altercation that recently ensued between the Alaafin of Oyo and Oni of Ife over the Oni's conferment of Okonlomo of Yorubaland on businessman Dotun Sanusi, to which the Alaafin countered, saying the Oni lacks the exclusive right to confer such title and that the Oni's instrument of office confines its authority to the Oromiyan local government now split into Ife Central, Ife North, and Ife South. The chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum and Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has commiserated with his Kogi State counterpart, Usman Ododo, on the death of his father, Alhaji Ahmed Ododo, who died yesterday at the age of 83. Sanwo-Olu, in a statement issued today by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Boyega Akoshile, urged Governor Ododo, the deceased families, friends, associates, and the entire people of Kogi State in general to be grateful to God that his late father lived a fulfilled life. The Department of State Services (DSS) today has arraigned 5 men before Justice Emeka Nweti over their alleged involvement in the June 5, 2022 attack at St. Francis Catholic Church, Owo, in Ondo State. The 5 suspects, which include Idris Abdulmalik, Al-Kwazim Idris, Jamil Abdulmalik, Abdulamin Idris, and Momo Utua, are to face trial for the attack, which claimed over 40 lives and left over 100 individuals injured. We now move to a segment now, and on business news. President Tinubu commissioned 40,000 liquefied petroleum gas vessel. Ayomide Ogumodede as the story.
Good evening and welcome to Business Update. The federal government has set plan for fresh cash transfer to 2.2 million households in the country as the scheme go 419 billion. Speaking in the televised interview yesterday, the Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Tanko Sununu, said the cash transfer is expected to kick off before the end of August 2025. He also said the government had already distributed 71% to the country's northern part and 21% to the southern part of the country under its rapid conditional cash transfer to vulnerable people. He further said the process is such that the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Officer (NASCO) will now assess vulnerable Nigerians based on their lowest KIDA in the National Social Register. Seen on Business Update, President Bola Tinubu has commissioned 40,000 cubic meters CBM liquefied petroleum gas LPG vessel Christian Dialogia of Lagos in Busan, South Korea, and stressed that Nigeria is supposed to deliver clean and sustainable energy solutions not just in the country but also across Africa and beyond. In a statement by the Minister of the State for Petroleum Resources Gas, Honorable Ekperikpe Ekpo, representing the NNPC, explained that the vessel, owned by Waj Energy Limited and NNPC Limited Sahara Group Joint Ventures, is a dual fuel, fully refrigerated LPG carrier. Also bring Waj total LPG vessel capacity to 162,000 CBL. The President, however, commended Waj Energy Limited, NNPC Limited, and Sahara Group for their strategic foresight, technical excellence, and unwavering dedication to expanding Africa's roles in global clean energy value chain. And that is all on Business Update. I am Ayomide Ogumodede.
On the foreign scene, the Union of Flight Attendants in Canada calls off strike. Jemima Fateye has the story.
Good evening and welcome to Foreign News. The union representing Air Canada flight attendants has today said it has ended a strike over wages and unpaid ground work after reaching a tentative agreement with the airline. Recall that roughly 10,000 flight attendants walked off the job after midnight on Saturday, prompting cancellations that have impacted around 500,000 people. However, the union, after resuming talks late yesterday, said it had reached a potential deal with the airline that it would put its members for consideration. Still on foreign, Google has agreed to pay a 55 million Australian dollar penalty for striking anti-competitive deals to pre-install only its own search engine on Android mobile phones sold by 2 leading Australian telecoms firms. Australia's competition authority said it had launched proceedings in the federal court and jointly submitted with Google Asia Pacific that it should pay the fine. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, in a statement released yesterday, said the court would now decide whether the agreed penalty and other orders were appropriate. And that's all on Foreign News. My name is Jemima.
In the showbiz world, Rita Edochie slams online bullies and trolls following TikTokers passing. Let's join Victoria Banwo for that story.
Good evening and welcome to Entertainment News. Actress Rita Edochie has slammed online trolls while paying tribute to plus-size dancer Chinelo Vivian Moorman, who passed away recently after complications from surgery. The actress took a strong stance against online bullying and body shaming, pointing out that those who mocked Chinelo's appearance may have contributed to her decision to undergo surgery. She condemned the practice of using social media to mock and judge others, adding pain to already wounded souls. In her tribute, Rita remembered Chinelo as more than just a body, but as a person who embodied light, love, and kindness. Still on Entertainment News, Burna Boy has extended his run as the African star with the most entries on the Billboard Hot 100. The hitmaker was among the 3 Nigerians who appeared on Ghana's latest album, The Last One, where he is shown on the track. The song debuted on the Billboard Hot 100 as number 95, which extended his run on the chart to 5 consecutive years, an unprecedented feat for an African artist. Burna Boy's latest Billboard Hot 100 entry is also his 7th, which is an African record that places him 2 songs above compatriots Wizkid and Thames, who are tied at 5 entries each. And that's all on Entertainment News. I am Victoria Banwu.
In the world of sports, veteran manager says Lionel Messi is playing who improved him the most in his coaching career. Mayowa Olashui is standing by.
Good evening and welcome to Sports Updates. Former Chelsea manager and current Fenerbahce manager Jose Mourinho has said Lionel Messi is the player who made him grow the most in his career. Messi is widely regarded as one of the greatest footballers ever to have graced the game. When asked about which player has given him a hard time in his career, he mentioned the Argentinian star because, according to him, Messi made him think a lot. Mourinho has faced the Argentine legend many times. Mourinho then faced Messi and Barcelona in La Liga during his time as Real Madrid's manager. Still on sports, the duo of Alabi Lasisi and Solomon Uluku have extended their contracts with the Nigerian National League NLS side Sporting Lagos. Sporting Lagos made the announcement today that Lasisi and Uluku signed a deal that will keep them with the modest club until 2026 and 2027 respectively. The duo have been integral members of Sporting Lagos. Lasisi and Uluku are expected to play a key role in the team's promotion chase next season. And that's all on sports. My name is Mayowa.
With a sports story, we end this edition of News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Ido Ekiti. Just before we go, the highlight again. We told you that the federal government has vowed to reciprocate a new U.S. visa policy that mandates Nigerian visa applicants to disclose their social media profiles and activities in the last 5 years during application. We also brought to you that President Bola Tinubu has approved a major reduction in the cost of kidney dialysis in federal hospitals by reducing the price from 50,000 naira to 12,000 naira per session, a total of 76% cut. Finally, we reported that the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has said that all mobile phones must be completely switched off during flight takeoff and landing. And that's News Express this evening on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Olojido's Palace, Ido Ekiti. On behalf of the production crew led by Mayowa Ola.